Finally, I want you to talk to fellow addicts, all right? You said something that is quite important, a statement. I was determined to quit drinking. I was determined. It was a personal decision. It was a self-driven decision. What would you say to someone who's fighting this addiction? What would you say to someone who's dealing with this? Because they may be determined, but reality is people fall off the bandwagon. That doesn't mean it's failure, it means it's a stumbling block, or so we would think. I want to hear from Mark Wasike, a man who is currently fighting alcohol addiction, telling us his day, how that fight is, and talking to someone who needs to hear it.
What I can say, with an addict, you should, if you have those symptoms I've said, unapotea njia, you drink too much more than what you wanted, you get lost along the way, unaibiwa vitu kila siku, you need help. Stop and ask for help. After you have been given help, go through, somebody will look for somebody who stopped a long time ahead of you. Then you can do these small steps. Make sure for 20 days you have not taken alcohol. Make sure for 40 days you have not taken. If you think you don't want to go, you are a very busy man. Because I know of some staff hapo nye tuma approach waenda wakakata. Make it 60 and avoid. There is something called PPT. People, places, and things. Those are things you must change. Change the people, change the places, change the things. You will have a chance. Like me, if I were taken back to Yala, and I was being called from rehab, from Yala, from those drinkers, I will not have survived. Now, sometimes you reach somewhere where your organs start expiring. You are taught like that. So, if you reach that point, there is no reverse. Waza replace your kidney. So, if you need help, seek help. Otherwise, death, jail is waiting for you. If you can come in, msiseme tu kama kwetu, like my family, what nasema mtoto mwenye akunywi, huyo si nini, is not one of us. Nasemaga watakupea shamba because everybody in our family drinks. That is a stupid notion. There are a few, 3 or 4 others who don't drink. So you cannot say that uko yetu tunakunywaka ama nimekunywa ni tangu nikiwa mdogo. That is a mistake. You cannot keep repeating a mistake and assume that you get the correct answer. Something else useme, nitapata tu pesa ingine. You drink that whole of what you have and you say, get. But mwisho, I wanted to talk about other companies now that KBC has that policy. Yeah, ADA, alcohol and drug addiction. Yeah. If they can form a committee, I don't think these guys are paid. They are just volunteering. Some few guys come together, then now they cancel the other young men who are undergoing some stresses. It will be better for different companies, for those guys who are listening, to have such a committee of around 4 or 5 people, then you can accommodate them.
Can I ask you an honest question, which you don't have to answer?
Yeah.
How hard is it to fight temptation? Have you fallen off the wagon? If you have, how hard was it to get back on? If not, how is the reality on the ground?
The reality, that is where the temptation comes. But if you go through these steps, the temptation will dry up. After 90 days, you will not have alcohol in your body and you won't have temptation. But if we do those 3 things, places, and
PPT. People, places, things.
Those people, the moment you remove them from, like this cousin of mine, I had to move away from that test. Because every time he's around, he drive to, I just see somebody knocking on my door. Now that he's in a company, I will leave. So change people, change places, seek some divine source in your body. There is somebody can Google a book called AA, 12 Steps of AA. If you Google that book, will give you the guidelines of international guidelines, which is used in Kenya to detoxicate. So, and you run a program of 90 days. Try to be faithful. Of course, you have to change places. Let's say you go to a journey somewhere where you'll have a different company, you'll have it. Thank you very much.
PPT. That is a powerful story coming from Mark Wasike. People, places, things that you need to avoid if you are battling alcoholism. From one alcoholic, Mark Wasike, to another if you are fighting alcoholism. It is okay. You are okay. You deserve a good life. And that thing, the alcohol, has no power over you. As Mark Wasike has said, once you accept and want to change, all the power is now in your hands. Thanks to my colleague Mark Wasike. And if you're battling alcoholism, here's to you. Raise your glass of anything but alcoholic drinks. Good morning.